कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, monument dedicated to frontline workers. Number of bogus agents on the rise again. And well wishes for Fiji continue to pour in.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
A monument unveiled in Suva yesterday was dedicated to frontline workers who ensure that Fiji remains the safest place in the world and maintains its COVID-contained status. Prime Minister Warwick Marama says the hard work of medical personnel, Fiji Police Force and the Republic of Fiji military forces in ensuring we are COVID-contained allows Fijians to enjoy their daily lives free of the virus. Koroi Tandulala reports.
The Prime Minister says the disciplined forces will continue to guard our borders to ensure Fiji remains COVID-19 contained.
Fijian doctors and nurses are hard at work in our hospitals, working 14-day full-time shifts in isolation wards to eliminate any risk of infection among the public, after which they will spend another 14 days in quarantine before they are able to see their families.
Minister for Health Dr. Ifiremi Wanganambete says the measures implemented by the ministry and the cooperation of Fijians has bode well in curbing the virus.
We are very grateful that, as a ministry we could ensure that we work all corners and through the support that the Fijian government, through the Honourable Prime Minister and also all communities being able to come together. We've all worked hard together to be able to keep ourselves COVID contained.
Meanwhile, the nurse who contracted COVID-19 while working in an isolation facility has made full recovery and has returned home. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, among other things, has increased opportunities for bogus real estate agents. The consumer watchdog confirms receiving 50 complaints valued at over $205,000 against unlicensed agents since January this year. Pranita Prakash has more.
Fraudulent activities by bogus real estate agents are on the rise again.
What they actually do is they will take the potential buyers to places or sites where there are piece of land or houses, and they'll pretend that they have been assigned to sell it, and they will take substantial amount of deposits. So the potential buyers will only come to know about it when they will require documentations to present to the financial institutions whereby they are opting or deciding to take loans from.
And the activity has increased, and Real Estate Agents Licensing Board is working hard to control this. The Agents Association is working in unity to oversee this as well. But there is a lot of illegal activities going by those people who don't have licenses.
The Consumer Council Chief Executive says these bogus agents are tarnishing the image of the entire sector.
We had one case out of the many cases we had whereby this real estate agent is issuing the sale note to all those people who go to view the property. The contents of the sale note is such that it makes the viewers believe that that property will be sold to him or her, and then they start looking for finances, so only to be told later that that property will be sold to someone else.
The two organizations is calling on Fijians to verify the identity of the real estate agents before engaging them to purchase any property, especially during this difficult time. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
A couple are in police custody for allegedly defrauding a businessman of close to $90,000. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro says earlier this month, the director of a vehicle spare parts company received a check from a woman in her late 30s wanting to buy vehicle parts. Naisoro says a check worth more than $89,000 was exchanged for the parts, but later discovered to be dishonoured when deposited. A team of officers in the Southern Division were tasked with investigations, whereby they arrested the woman and her husband, who are now being questioned at the Valelevu police station. Investigators have also made recoveries from a vacant home in Nandi yesterday. The The Prince of Wales, in his message to Fijians celebrating half a century of independence, says he is building a global coalition to set up the planet on a more sustainable path. Prince Charles acknowledged the work done by Fiji in leading the fight against climate change globally and advocating for all vulnerable countries. Apinisa Wangarandovu reports.
The Prince of Wales says Fiji has shown leadership in the fight against climate change, and he will use his Sustainable Market Initiative and the Great Reset to support the work.
I will do my utmost through my Sustainable Markets Initiative to assist Fiji and your region secure a more sustainable future for you, your children and your grandchildren.
The Prince of Wales says Fiji is not alone in fighting climate change and hopes the ties between the two countries will continue to be strengthened in the future.
I have every confidence that we shall remain trusted partners over the years ahead, and that the ties between us will endure. For our part, my family and I will continue to champion this bond in whatever way we can.
The Secretary General of the Commonwealth in her well wishes says Fiji is a proud nation that has become a voice for other small nations suffering disproportionately from the impact of climate change.
Fiji also championed the global call of other small, vulnerable and developing countries for the achievement of the objectives of the Paris Agreement, and I take this opportunity to congratulate Fiji on committing to net zero emissions by 2030.
Scotland also acknowledges Fiji's leadership in the Blue Ocean Initiative, saying this does not only benefit Fiji, the region or the Commonwealth, but benefits the whole world. Apinisa Wangarandovu, FBC News.
Up ahead, Fiji Festival hailed a success. And in successful Fijian, former seafarer turned mosaic artist.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Tributes continue to pour in for Fiji and her people a day after celebrating 50 years of independence. Dignitaries and Fijians living in the United Kingdom have also sent in their well wishes to the nation. Lena Rees has more.
Fiji's High Commissioner to the UK, Chitoko Tikolevu, says the trade and relations between Fiji and the UK have been cemented through various sectors since our independence.
The Fiji High Commission in London opened shortly after Fiji's independence, which speaks great volume of the important and the significant relationship we share with the United Kingdom. Numerous Fijian nationals have been privileged to serve in Her Majesty's Armed Forces over the last 50 years.
Tikolevu also took time to wish all Fijians a happy 50th Independence Day.
May God bless Fiji, may God bless the United Kingdom, and may God bless us all. Nakabaka Lebu, and happy Independence Day.
Former and current British Army officers also sent through their well wishes to Fijians around the world.
I wish all my fellow Fijians a happy Fiji Day on this, our 50th anniversary.
As a developing country, Fiji has its own ups and downs and changes. So I wish Fiji all the very best for the next 50 years.
I do hope and pray that Fiji and Fijians will continue to prosper in years to come.
We look forward with confidence to the next 50 years of peace, stability, economic progress, and a self-assured nation.
Many Fijians living in the Northern Hemisphere are still in celebration of Fiji's 50th independence. Lena Rees, FBC News.
One of the biggest resorts along the Coral Coast has reopened its doors for the local market. A few months back, the resort had to drastically reduce operations due to the effects of COVID-19. Pranita Prakash again with this story.
The reopening of the Warwick resort is also a relief for many of its staff.
Warwick's participation in our Love Our Locals campaign through this reopening will re-employ close to about 50 employees, and this will certainly increase once the borders are actually open, which we're all hoping will be very, very soon.
The tourism minister stresses that supporting locals is extremely important.
Earlier this year, we actually launched our Love Our Locals campaign to build consumer confidence and ignite economic activity in the tourism industry. And so I want to thank the Warwick Fiji for using this platform as a stepping stone to reopen once again and to introduce guests to new experiences under this particular campaign.
The Naviti and the Toka Toka Resort have been operating since July under Love Our Locals campaign, while the Tambua Sands will remain closed until the international border opens. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Fiji Festival 2020 has generated much-needed economic buzz for small-medium enterprises during Fiji's Independence Weekend. The festival brought together the rock music and the performing arts industry and attracted record numbers over the last 2 days. Lena Reese with the story.
With over 2,000 people flocking to the family event on the first day at the Thurston Garden, organisers were grateful for the support shown.
So most of our vendors sold out. Some sold their daily allocation for today, so they've been up all night preparing for today. I think it's incredibly important because these events create a circular economy for Fiji. So the money is locally spent and then locally spent again. So people come here and buy and then they spend in the local market. So we do create a very big circular economy. So these events are incredibly important.
The festival was also a chance for Tourism Fiji to encourage Fijians to support the Love Your Locals campaign, as well as small businesses within the sector.
So Tourism Fiji is running competitions from their tent and encouraging local tourism and local support, because we all have to join hands together more now than ever. So it's amazing to have Tourism Fiji with us.
A huge attraction at the Fiji Festival 2020 was the wide range and variety of food. One stall in particular has decided to move shop from Nadi to Suva due to the increased demand in the capital.
And basically, we're both from tourism backgrounds, and with COVID-19 at the moment and the situation, the impact that that's had out in the West, we thought, why not try something a little bit different? And we know that the food industry is definitely a great industry to be in Fiji, because here in Fiji we love to eat. It's just to meet the demand, to be able to fulfill our clients' wishes and be able to give them the food that they've been asking us for. So that's basically what instigated the move down here to Suva.
The inaugural Fiji Festival has been hailed a success, with organisers hoping to make this an annual event. Lena Reese, FBC News.
Women continue to inspire real growth in many fields of work these days, while shouldering all kinds of responsibilities with grand success. In this week's Successful Fijian segment, FBC News caught up with Maria Seniana, an entrepreneur. Alpenisa Wangarandovu reports Seniana was part of a crew member on a tuna fishing vessel for 10 years, and it is where she met her husband as well.
After a decade of sailing and visiting several countries to offload tuna, Maria Seniana decided it was time to settle down after meeting her husband.
I was working on an American one and he was running another boat, and we are sort of doing the same kind of fishing industry. That's how I met my husband. Yeah, and my husband is a Kiwi. He's from New Zealand.
She later picked up the art of mosaic from her sister-in-law during one of her trips to New Zealand with her husband.
One day we stopped by to see my sister-in-law, and she was doing her mosaic art. So kind of interested me, took my eye. Then she gave me 2 hours lesson to it, and I've never looked back since then.
She then starts her local business doing mosaic on tiles before moving to mirrors.
Mirrors, the name of my business is Broken Mirrors. It's because I started off doing mirrors with the broken pieces, but now I'm doing the cutting. So I cut every single piece. And
like any other business, Broken Mirrors had also had its ups and downs.
when I started, I got a shop in Nandi. We rented the place for 1 year, and that we had our ups and downs with that, so I gave that up, and I just do it from home.
Seniana says her loyal customers have been the backbone of her business, especially during difficult times.
It's very hard because I have to put my price up, and my colored mirrors, I import them from New Zealand. It's not local, so I have to look at that side with the currency, the exchange, the freight. So it's very hard to sell it at the price that I really want to sell it to, so I just bring my price down so that everybody can afford it.
The Nandi businesswoman's word of encouragement are that ambitions should not be left in debt.
Young people, when you have a dream, you just go for it, just follow your heart. If you want to do something, just go for it and do it. Follow your heart.
2 weeks ago, Semiana was approached to design the interior of a new fisherman's bar in Nandi. She hopes to start once she returns to the West after spending 2 days at the Fiji Festival in Suva. Apinisawang Randobu, FBC News.
Ahead in sports, IDC title returns to Lambasa. And Suva Netball anticipates electric 2021 season. Details after the break.
Pula natang ko aproslan ngarse, go erkraki. Do televizyon na parang na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibit.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibit.
The SSS Builders Lambasa football team retained the Courts IDC title at the ANZ Stadium this afternoon, following their 2-1 win over Fresh Choice Lautoka in the final. It's also the first time the Mbamba Singh Alliance have won the IDC back-to-back. Lautoka captain Zibra Sahib scored via penalty, while Ilisoni Lolaivalu and Ratuapinisa Nare netted Lambasa's goals. Here's the action. The Nandranga football team has won the Courts Inter-District Championship Senior Division Trophy. This is the 12th IDC title the Stallions has taken home after defeating Boa 3-0 in the final at the ANZ Stadium. Tale Matairakula reports.
Coach Johnny Williams says the journey has been long for the Stallions, but their determination and hard work has paid off.
The journey's been long. It started in February on the 8th, and 8 months down the road, we have achieved what we've come. I really didn't come for the IDC, but I had faith in the boys that I said yesterday that they will make it. We have made it.
Emotional Williams says the win is the only response they have for their critics and will open doors for their players.
Well, it means open doors, especially with the sponsors, and it means closing some mouths that have criticized us along the way. And the best way to close their mouths is to show them that we can do it.
Although the results didn't go their way, the Northerners have surely stamped their mark in the football arena.
Everything was going on all right, but a lapse of concentration, that is where they scored the first goal. And coming up with an inexperienced side, the boys in my team, you must have seen, you ask people around the football arena, hardly anybody knows who are these players. Today, these players have established, an identity of their own.
The Stallions walk away with $7,000 while Mbua wins $2,500. Pale Materakula, FBC Sports.
The Suva Netball Association rounded up its league matches yesterday with dominant teams coming out on top and vast talents discovered. President Georgina Lasanga says it's promising to see netball thrive with rising young talents and the oldies who continue to push for the development of the sport. She says while the 2020 season comes to an end, they anticipate an even greater season next year.
We are happy to see the level of competition continue to grow, continue to increase. We've seen our minors that have finished, and an exciting game has just finished, which is our golden grade, acknowledging our seniors in netball. We had to go into extra time between Loma Viti and CBM, and it was an exciting match. And it goes to show that the heart of netball continues to thrive with the individuals who are here this year, despite all odds.
The top 4 teams that will represent the Suva Volleyball Association to the upcoming Fiji Volleyball Sanctioned tournaments will be selected soon. The association has been holding its friendly meet for the past few weeks with the aim of identifying the best clubs and talents. As they head into their knockout stages next week, they're looking to select the best of the best.
The one that's coming up is the Inter-Club. So they're saying about top 4 teams. Well, we are going to decide that next week when we have our knockout session. So our top 4 clubs may be representing the association in that tournament.
The Rabbitohs have booked their spot in the National Rugby League preliminary finals after beating the Eels 38-24 in their clash last night. South Sydney will now gear up for a battle against the Panthers next week for a place in the grand finale. And in weather, cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern and interior of the larger islands, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers and isolated thunderstorms elsewhere. Quick look at the weather map looking in the west, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers and isolated thunderstorms. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, it was cloudy periods with some showers. And up north, brief showers in Lombasa with cloudy conditions in Savu-Savu. At sea, for Yasawa and Mamanutha waters, southwest Viti level waters, Kandavu Passage, Vatuira Passage, Korosi and southern Lao waters, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots. For the rest of Fiji waters, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southerly swells. Turning to the tides, high tide is at 1:46 a.m. with low tide at 8:19 a.m. tomorrow. Sunrise is at 5:40 a.m. Now for tomorrow, expect similar weather across the country. And our further outlook, we're looking ahead to Tuesday. More showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands with afternoon or evening showers and isolated thunderstorms elsewhere. And recapping the main stories for tonight, monument dedicated to frontline workers. Number of bogus agents on the rise again, and well wishes for Fiji continue to pour in. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question we're asking, will Suva on sale help businesses affected by COVID-19? Visit our FBC website to answer. And be sure to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News and our Twitter page at FBC_news, or simply hashtag FBC News. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow from the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable new week ahead. Bye for now.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.